The goal of this first match was to get a grip on my opponent's collar and to drag him to the ground. I wanted to get the points first. So I was able to get my right grip on his lapel and my left grip on his sleeve. But he also had a pretty good grip on my collar. So we jockeyed around the ring for about 2 minutes. The whole time I was looking down at his feet, trying to gauge distance. So at one point in time, I decided to step in to see how far it would be to attempt a takedown. I wouldn't necessarily call that a takedown attempt, but rather I was just trying to collect information on him. And again, gauge distance. After that, I resumed control of the upper body. I felt safe. I felt secure. I was moving around. I didn't feel threatened. Again, I was looking at his feet. So I decided to check distance a second time. This time I got a little bit more meat on the bone. I mean, I was moved in a little bit closer, and I was starting to make some ground on my opponent. But I got pushed back to the center of the ring. He was able to get real low. He was a short guy. So me trying to drag him to the ground really wasn't advantageous because it was just giving him a lower center of gravity. But I was confident with the distance. I stepped in twice, so I wanted to go for a takedown, a trip. I got my right hand on his inside lapel, and I have my left hand again on his sleeve, and I'm getting ready to drag him across me and to step in with a trip. Unfortunately, when I dragged him across me, I stepped in and lifted my foot and missed a trip. I tried to recover and bring him to the ground, but again, he was short and he was able to stuff it. I tried a second time to pull him down, but he was shorter than me. He had a better point of leverage, so it didn't really work out. We locked up grips again, and we started just pulling each other around a little bit, trying to work each other. And right here with my right hand, I let go. I definitely let go, and I couldn't find a home for it. I was moving it back around. I couldn't get it back in there, and I made the mistake of trying to go for his belt, and he took advantage and hooked my leg. So I sat down as low as I could, regained my center of gravity, and once I got comfortable, I grabbed his pants and I broke it free. Narrowly escaped that one, and then regained control and distance. And from there, I knew we were getting kind of close. We were getting towards the end of the round. This could be close to the 3.5 minute, 4 minute mark. So I knew it was just best to hold tight to the end of the round. Not to get too crazy. I already had one good takedown attempt and 2 times trying to set up distance. If it went into overtime or if it went into judges' hands, I didn't want to ruin anything. But he was definitely fighting for it. He was a strong guy. He was short, but he was well built up top. He had a big chest and big arms. It was hard to control him. He definitely knew how to use his body weight. So we just were locked up right here, and then the time expired. So we went to a 1 minute overtime round. And in here, it was, again, just trying to stick to the game plan and grab him by the gi and hold tight. I knew, though, it was an overtime and it was up to the judge's discretion. I didn't want to get taken down and lose on points. And even when going to take him down, I knew it could be close. But twice I tried reaching in, grabbing his pants, at least making an attempt to take him down. Just some movement, let him know I was there. Try to snap him down, just anything to get some points. I didn't want to leave it in the judge's hands. But this is at 5.5 minutes into fighting, 6 minutes into fighting. And this guy, again, was pretty strong. So it was really a mental game at this point, to go for the win, to not lose. And I ended up getting the victory on the first one by decision. And match 2 started off just like match 1, just locked up with the gi, trying to jockey for position. There was probably 15 to 20 minutes break in between each match, closer to 15 minutes, just enough time to rehydrate, and then we were right back at it, locked up in the center of the ring. I tried snapping him down, reaching in. He recovered real quickly, locked up again, boom, back to the same thing. My grips were, they held on tight. I didn't think I was weakening in the grip strength. I'm comfortable with that. Just didn't really know what to do with someone this short. Had not encountered a fighter this much shorter than me before. And I couldn't figure it out in the ring. Tried to reach in again. He recovered, put a little bit of pressure on me, locked up. I think that was a little nervous, that might have put myself out of position. And at this point in time, the ref broke it up. He said, "I know you gentlemen both think you're handsome and you like to dance, but now we're not here for that. This is a combat sport. Let's get to fighting. What do you say?" And we obliged. So we locked up and back to the same thing, but still the referee's voice was in my mind. I knew he wanted something different. I thought it was maybe time to go for something, time to make a move. The whole game plan changed at this point in time. I took my right hand off. I had a good grip with my left. I slipped my right in there, let go with my left, and pulled his gi around the top of his head and got a baseball bat grip and tried pulling him down with it. In the first match and then the start of the second match, I was trying to snap him down. It didn't work. I was trying to push on the bottom of his head. It didn't work. So I was trying to use a weapon to drag him down, and that didn't work. And also what happened is I lost a lot of my pressure. My whole game plan changed, and he took advantage. He grabbed me by the gi and he whipped me down. I was still fighting, but then boom, he gains control, and I'm trying to turn into him to get him in my guard. And we're working our way over to the corner of the mat. And again, I'm still trying to turn into him. And as he's trying to mount me, he actually jumps into my guard. I lucked out a little bit there. I guess I was prepared because I was on my side. Boom, I caught him. We're on the corner. And the referee sent us to the center of the mat. I knew I wanted to hurry up and get a hold of his gi, choke him while breaking him down, bring him in closer. So I got my right hand in there. I got it nice and tight. I went to put my left hand in there and he blocked it. I went to get it underneath and he blocked it again. So I saw the triangle. I was getting ready to set up the triangle. And from the sideline, I heard not to go for the submission. And at the same time, he blocked me with his left hand. So there's a missed opportunity. I tried to gain it back, but I had already missed it. So right here, I was defending the guard with my feet and my knee. I was doing a pretty decent job, but then he passed me on the other side. I was fighting him. I was getting a little tired here. Didn't quite have the body strength. I was trying to turn into him, fighting, trying to roll out of it. And he just got the better of me and laid on top of me. He got into side control, and that's where he stayed for the remainder of the second match. He had successfully passed the guard, and he just held on to his points. He was real top heavy. He kept a lot of pressure on me. I kept trying to frame, push on his neck, push on his waist, make some room. But he was strong. And he was a lot shorter than me, but he was definitely strong. So that was at the end of the second match, and he was awarded the victory on points. Third round begins. Another 15-minute break. And I think everyone knew that it was time, and he got in there and he got a hold of my leg quick, got me off balance, and boom, got me down, got side control, and again he was heavy on me. He got his points and he laid there. He knew he got the second match, and here was the third match. I was trying to put pressure on his neck. I'm glad he didn't really do anything. He just laid there, but I couldn't get I couldn't frame up on him. I couldn't push him away. I couldn't do anything with my hips. I couldn't buck him off. He just laid there. He was heavy. Trying to roll him. Nothing. So here, just try to grab his pants a little bit. And not really to distract him, but to kind of keep his lower half away from me so I could turn my hips out and gain some space. Load up on one hip. And when he lifted his hand, I knew there was an opportunity to slide out from under him, and I was able to reverse it. The one thing I did wrong here is that I had a hold of his belt still, and I had pinned my arm underneath. So even when it was hard for me to get up because I was laying on him and he was on my arm, but I guess I still held on to it. I didn't let go. I got turned upside down, and then boom. He's in my half guard again. Or he's in side mount. And that's relayed again. I tried to move a little. He kept his weight on me. I tried turning my hips out and trying to walk away from him. So here again, trying to get to one side, turn my hips. Try to push my lower body away from him. He moves over on top of me. So I move my hips out again and walk a little bit more away from him. He tries to put a little bit more pressure on me again. And again, move my hips out. He starts to figure out what I'm doing. He puts a hand on me. But I know I have his leg on the other side. I break his hand away from me. And now he's off my hips. So now that he's off my hips almost completely, I could use them to my advantage a little bit. I turn and face him. I get his body weight loaded up on me. And then when I feel him move, I help him move. But then he stuffs me. And totally denied there. I get to my feet first. I get my overhook in. I'm at an advantage, but he gets his overhook in and he's at a better point of leverage. He's smaller and he can just bring me down. He's already lower than me. He just has to pull me to his level and boom. He gets side mount again, and at this point in time, I kept fighting. I tried to get out, but it was pretty much a wrap. He got his points, and I fought to the end. But for the last minute, I was spent. My energy was spent. He was on top of me, and he got awarded the victory in match number 3 and got the gold medal. I got the silver, second place.